I still remember the sound before anything else, the kind of hollow, sickening thud that makes your stomach drop before your mind even understands what's happening. That was the moment 16-year-old Naomi Carter went down in the dirt, police batons raining on her like she was nothing more than a punching bag. An honor student, a debate team star, a girl who spent her weekends tutoring kids at the library, beaten into a coma in the middle of Riverside Park because she dared to pull out her phone and hit record. When she opened her eyes under those blinding hospital lights, she couldn't move, couldn't even piece her memory together. But her mom, Danielle Carter, she remembered everything. A former Marine, a woman who had spent half her life serving this country, now staring at her baby hooked up to tubes because the people sworn to protect her saw her as a threat. Danielle had been in front of the city council that same afternoon presenting reforms on police accountability. She left her research, her notes, her whole career dream sitting on the podium the minute the call came in. Your daughter's in critical condition. Police incident. It's bad. At the hospital, officers tried to spin their script. She was resisting. She had drugs. She attacked us first. Danielle just stared them down. My daughter has a 4.0 GPA. She's never even skipped class. You expect me to believe she picked a fight with four armed officers? They shifted in their seats, but the lies rolled on. She sat by Naomi's bed all night, her face swollen beyond recognition, her head wrapped after emergency brain surgery. That's when a nurse leaned close, whispered, "Security cameras cover the park. Footage erases after 72 hours unless someone requests it." She slipped Danielle a number, a lifeline, in a system designed to bury the truth. From that moment, Danielle wasn't just a mother praying her daughter would live. She was on a mission. She called in favors from her old unit, pieced together timelines, tracked down witnesses too scared to speak. A nursing student had filmed from his apartment window. A best friend had a partial clip Naomi tried to send before the phone was knocked away. Every fragment told the same story. Naomi never interfered, never raised a hand. She was documenting abuse, and they nearly killed her for it. The police doubled down. They planted marijuana near her hand. They claimed her erratic behavior explained everything. They even lost her phone and evidence. Danielle's home was broken into, her laptop, stolen files missing. Witnesses were threatened. A homeless veteran Naomi had tried to protect was beaten and dumped behind a dumpster with a note, "Keep your mouth shut." Still, the truth leaked out. A 30-second clip hit social media batons cracking against a motionless body. It went viral, and Oakwood City's polished mask started to slip. Danielle knew she needed bigger guns than local politics. She found them in an old comrade turned digital forensics expert in Jerome Banks, a civil rights attorney who'd spent decades fighting impossible cases. Together, they built a war room in the hospital conference center. Evidence maps covered the walls, names linked with red string: Officer Mercer, Officer Sullivan, Captain Whitaker, District Attorney Wells. Same men, same stories, same cover-ups over and over. Then came the midnight meeting. Danielle walked into Riverside Park under cover of shadows, every muscle tense. Out stepped Officer Elena Morales, hood up, hands trembling. I was there. I saved my body cam footage. It shows everything. She handed over a drive, her voice breaking. "They'll come for me now, but your daughter deserves the truth." The footage was damning. Naomi calm, standing at a distance, reciting her rights like the debater she was. Then Mercer lunging, Sullivan twisting her arm, the brutal beating and the planting of drugs. No way to spin it. Danielle knew it was the key to cracking the wall of silence. The FBI had been circling, already sniffing at corruption in Oakwood for over a year. When that footage landed on their desk, the whole case blew wide open. Agent Victoria Chen showed up in the ICU, no nonsense, saying this isn't just brutality, it's organized crime. Your daughter stumbled onto something bigger: drug shipments, moving through that park shed, money laundering, the whole ladder, reaching up to the governor's office. While Naomi lay in her coma, the city roiled. Candlelight vigils grew from dozens to thousands. Social media lit up with hashtag Justice for Naomi. Civil rights leaders poured in. The police union pushed back, held press conferences, painting her as a troubled teen, leaked doctored school records, even plastered fake flyers around her high school. The smear campaign was cruel, but it couldn't drown out the truth. When Naomi finally opened her eyes after 11 agonizing days, Danielle whispered, "They picked the wrong mother, baby girl. I promise you they're going to answer for this." Naomi couldn't remember everything. Trauma works that way, but she remembered enough. Walter, the homeless vet, pressed against a wall, her phone in her hand, Mercer's face, the sickening rush of fear. The trial became a spectacle. Cameras outside the courthouse, families packing the gallery. On one side, Mercer Sullivan Whitaker Wells faces tight arrogance fading. On the other, Naomi still walking carefully, a thin scar tracing her hairline, but her eyes as sharp as ever. When the jury watched the full body cam uncut, the room gasped. No aggression, no resistance, just a girl with a phone beaten nearly to death. Naomi testified softly but firmly, "I wasn't against police. I was against abuse of power." Her words cut deeper than any lawyer's closing. And when Rodriguez, bruised back brace, still on, told the court about quotas in black neighborhoods, about complaints disappearing, about intimidation campaigns, the dam broke. Verdicts came swift, guilty across the board, officers facing 20 years. A captain and DA brought down in the same breath. Federal indictments reached the governor's inner circle. The Oakwood Police Department was placed under federal oversight. Body cams, now mandatory civilian boards, given real teeth. 6 months later, Naomi walked slowly back into Riverside Park. New cadets trained nearby, diverse, attentive, their instructor pointing to her quietly. "That's Naomi Carter. Her cases required study now." She looked around the place where she almost died and said, "I thought coming back here would break me, but it feels like taking something back that was stolen." Her mother squeezed her shoulder. "The system's changing because we refuse to stay quiet." Naomi nodded, eyes still carrying scars, but also fire. That doesn't erase what happened, but it gives it meaning. And that's the story: one girl's courage, one mother's war, a city forced to face its rot. But here's the question that lingers: was it justice or just another patch on a broken system? Did the convictions change the culture or just sacrifice a few men while the machine grinds on? I want to hear from you. If this happened in your town, would you trust the reforms, or do you believe the system itself is beyond fixing? Drop your thoughts below. If you've ever seen someone silenced by power, tell us. Hit like if you believe body cam footage should be released automatically in cases of force. And don't forget to subscribe, because the fight for justice isn't finished, and the stories we tell are how we keep the light on.